Hey, man. I had a quick update too. I wanted to ask you about. I wanted to
Sure.
check in to see how you were doing because we had that health scare and awakening episode about you, and so I wanted to see if you could update us about you.
I'm doing pretty dang good now. I'm getting my sleep apnea is getting in check. I'm slowly getting used to the sleep apnea machine I have to wear now, so I can honestly say that I'm feeling more rested. I've got more energy than I've had in probably 3 years. My blood pressure's been great. I'm just waiting to see a cardiologist so I can get released to kind of go back to work. I'm working on weaning my way off of the oxygen. As you can see, I'm not wearing it now and haven't worn it all day, and my saturation rates have stayed at a good, healthy level. So, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I think things are looking up, and it's going to just get better and better.
Man, that's good. Can I ask how much weight you've lost now?
Oh, in total, I think I'm around 130 pounds.
Man, that's nuts, man.
I lost 118 in the hospital, and then just from dieting and doing everything around home, and I think I probably lost about another 15.
Are you still taking those? Were they pills to help you get the fluid out of your body?
Yeah, I'll still be taking those for a while, until I meet with the cardiologist.
So do you still feel like the urge, like all the time, like when I saw you when you were in the hospital?
No, it's not nearly as much now.
Yeah,
I think it's like maintaining it now, right?
yeah.
So it's not like it's trying to drain all that fluid off me. I think, in the hospital that first night, I lost 10 pounds in the first 4 hours
Yeah.
of
Well,
just
and
water weight.
it's almost like drinking when you're breaking the seal, right? It's like I saw you in the hospital that day and you done broke the seal and it
Oh
just
man, it was about, they'd give me a shot, and about 20 minutes later, it was like, you better go pee, and then you better wait about 5 minutes, and you're going to have to go again.
that. Oh man, I couldn't believe it. But
I've never seen so much pee in my life.
oh well, I'm happy you're doing better, man. You sound much better. You look better. I mean, look at him. If you look at him from episode 1 of season 2 to now, you see like a big change in your dynamics
I
of your
feel
face.
great. I appreciate it, and it's one of those things where if you have high blood pressure, I didn't even know that I had an illness. I just thought I was tired all the time, and it affects a lot of things, and if it goes untreated, it can get bad.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, and as you and I both know, don't be stubborn about things, and that's what gets us both in a lot of trouble, or anybody. You know,
Absolutely, especially when you hit 40 years old, go get checked out, because that check engine light comes on, man,
yeah.
and
Well,
you're not invincible anymore.
you know what the next one you're going to be doing is, right? And that's well before me.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Oh, see, you're already starting. Don't put it off, dude. Come on, man.
I'm gonna have to find me a doctor that puts me under, because I don't want to remember anything about any of that.
Oh, he's going to be like, you're not going to feel a thing. I promise.
Yeah. Get some doctor that used to work on oil rigs and has hands as big as Hulk Hogan or something.
You're going to feel a pinch. It's going to be like a little, it's going to be just a little shot, okay?
No, I'm not ready for that one yet. Well, let's
No?
take one thing at a time. Let me get the heart dialed in first.
All right. Well, shit. Let's get this fucking show started, buddy.
All right. Hey, Joe, you ever been stuck behind that guy on the highway?
Oh, you mean the guy? Mr. I own the left lane, chronic left lane syndrome, or CLLS? It's a real epidemic, Curtis.
It really is. These people treat the left lane like it's their personal Netflix zone, cruising along at 10 under, oblivious to the chaos behind them.
Listen, people. The left lane is for passing. You're not auditioning for a slow motion chase scene in an action movie.
Exactly. If you've got CLLS, here's the cure. Check your mirror, turn on your blinker, and move over. It's not that hard. Your blinker is going to charge you rent.
Because, trust us, you don't want to be the guy we roast on. Don't be that guy.
Catch this segment and more, We Stand Corrected, where Kurtis and Joe stand up for what's right and call out what's wrong.
Streaming now on your favorite podcast platform. And remember, folks, don't be that guy. Be the guy who passes that guy.
I go ham on a bullet beat combined to Il Rio. Call the homies up and make tracks with my people. Cause when we join forces, we know that he is with us. We talk to him and keep a strong witness. So when I say I'm gonna take you to church, I really take you to church.
Dude, welcome to We Stand Corrected. I think we're on like episode officially like 19, season 2, episode 5.
Have we done that many already?
Isn't that weird?
That's so crazy, dude. It doesn't seem like it to me.
I know. And we're getting a hell of a bass coming in here.
That's good. You know, sooner or later, maybe we'll be famous. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what? It's fun doing it, though, because we talk anyways all day and all night. We might as well just make a recording out of it.
I thoroughly do enjoy it. You know, I was thinking, you've started driving Uber for, I guess you've done it for a few years now, Uber and Lyft. And I thought maybe I could ask you a few questions about that today.
Yeah, let's do it.
So what does it take for, just a normal average Joe to get into driving Uber and Lyft?
Well, since Joe got in, I had this idea. It was right before the pandemic, and Lyft was offering this program, man. And it was crazy. They had like this rental program out on the market where if you did like 70 rides, they would basically give you a free rental car. 70 rides in a week. And so I was like, I'll do that and not use my car. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried it, right? It was just kind of a trial. And you could pick up the car when you wanted and return it when you wanted. And luckily, one of the pickup places was right down the street from where I was working. And I rented from like a Friday to a Monday. And so it reset it like every Monday for the ride qualifications, but it was also prorated. So I only had to do like 30 rides in a weekend to have a car be free. And all I had to do was put gas and taxes in it, dude. And so,
that's awesome.
Yeah. And I was making like, I don't know, anywhere between $600 and $1,000 on the weekend just doing that. And that was after gas.
That's excellent.
So, yeah, I got this idea, and as time went on, I didn't do it as much just because I didn't need to, and then you kind of know, like, everything I went through going on, and I started to look at that rental program again, just to kind of see, and I tried it again for a week, and the qualifications and everything had just changed. Like, you didn't get the credits for doing the car. You didn't get any of that. And so you ended up paying it was now like $400 for the week. And I was paying for an electric car, I think, at that time. I think you could have got a gas car for like $300 with taxes or something like that. But I opted for the electric car just because I had an idea. And I was doing it. The rides were there. The money's there. And you still had to make the payment on the car, which was like $400. And I was like, they want $400 a week for this, dude. I was like, that's a car payment in itself.
Easily.
And so I got to looking at the cars they were renting that were electrics and some of the others that were on the market that are similar to it. And they rent out these Kia Niros, which is a small electric vehicle, but it's enough to fit 5 people in. It's a car. And I was like, I'm going to just look into this. And I did, and I found a car, and I got a Chevrolet Bolt EUV. And honestly, dude, probably one of the best investments I've ever made. Because now I make the payment on the car, but it's like the rental car.
It's your car.
Yeah, and it's my car, but I'm not paying that a week, right? Like I'm paying one-time payment a month. And I signed up, and the sign up process is super easy, dude. And you just get online. You just tell them the details about the car, your insurance, and boom, like you're signed up within hours. And then you just have to have a like a state a test done. You go to Jiffy Lube for this, and they just, overlook the car, make sure the tires are good, the blinkers work, the brake lights work, stuff like that, and you're good to go. That's how simple it is, man.
Nice. So do you have to, I know I see a lot of these Uber and Lyft cars that have like the little placard in the window that's lit up. How long does it take to get that before you can actually start driving?
The placard, they'll mail you that. I think Lyft has one where you can pick it up somewhere in town. And technically, you're right. You can't drive without that placard. So you have to have that on there. That's a state requirement. And so if you're driving around with that, you could actually get ticketed for that.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, I know you've used this to make, you've paid for a vacation last year to do this, from doing this. And, it's been a great alternative source of income. A lot of people, my brother-in-law did it for a long time as a primary source of income and did pretty well. And the nicest part of it is you can kind of work your own hours and choose when you want to start and stop. And, you're you're basically working for yourself. Would you recommend it to somebody that's looking for a part-time job or something on the side?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like, for me, it fits my schedule, right? Like, when I don't have my little one, I can go drive when I want, right? And there's always something to be made, honestly. Like, as long as you live in a big city, like, you're going to make it. But if you want to make the most out of it, you got to work those primetime hours, right? Like, you can put in an easily 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. and make over $30+ an hour, maybe 50 if you're lucky, depending where you're at in the city and tips. Somebody could easily make 6 figures on it doing it full time if they can keep their car,
that's
steady
excellent.
and healthy.
Which one do you prefer the most?
Well, I started with Lyft, and I thought I was going to stay Lyft. And I got about this time in November last year, and this is the first year I had the car, and so I hadn't really driven around a lot on the nights, and Lyft kind of got really slow. But the money was still there, but I was just not getting the rides, and the rides weren't worth as much money, and so I was like, I'm going to look into Uber. So I signed up, and Uber has actually a lot higher traffic than Lyft does. And Lyft has good traffic, don't get me wrong. And I didn't know. Uber's like the king, right? It's like Walmart and Target.
Sure.
Home Depot and Lowe's, right? So I get on Uber, and man, I'm like, I should have done this all along. Like, the traffic's way heavier on it. Like, there's always a ride. I'm barely ever waiting, even if I don't have one when I get off. The thing about Uber is they add Uber Eats into it if you want to do Uber Eats, kind of like DoorDash, right? And then you talk about, well, what's the king of that? Well, the king of that is DoorDash, and Uber Eats is behind that. But some of these, man, you look at these rides, and I could post some of these as like, I'll get these food requests, because when you're not getting rides, it'll start searching food requests. And some of these food requests are absolutely ridiculous. Like,
right.
You'll get one and it'll be like, all right, $3 to go 35 minutes with no tip for $3.
Holy crap.
And the base rate you're going to get from Uber on that is like $2, and don't quote me on the change. It's like 80 cents is what you get from every ride from Uber if nobody tips.
Oh my God.
So when those rides come through, that means nobody's tipping, dude. Nobody's. So they're asking for like this premium meal that's only on the south end suburb to go downtown, or vice versa.
Town, yeah.
And you're like, really? Like, I'm not taking that ride. Like, $3 is not worth 30 minutes. So that's the downside, right? Because then I start declining the vast majority of those, and then your acceptance rate starts going way down right away, really fast. And so
That makes sense.
Yeah, you look at it that way. And so, I mean, it is fun to do some of them because some people do tip really well. I mean, I've gotten $30, $40 tips on Uber Eats.
Oh, nice. Gosh, that's crazy. People are basically spending double
Yeah.
because they don't want to go get their own food.
But some people will order like a nice restaurant meal, but they'll tip what they would at the restaurant instead of going out for you.
Right.
You know, and the way I look at it is if it's not about $1 a mile, it's not worth it.
Right. So how many, like on average, how many miles, per driving session do you put on your car?
A charge will last me, and this is where the studying comes in on the electric cars. A charge in the summertime, I can get in between 220 and 240 miles. And that can normally last me 4 to 8 hours, depends on how far you're driving. So if I'm getting like airport runs, I'm going to last that 4-hour mark. But if I'm just driving around the suburbs and downtown, I'm going to get that 8-hour mark easily.
Nice.
So, but the money's the same regardless.
Oh, that's good. I got to ask you one question because my sense of humor, and I just find this thing very interesting. Have you ever had anybody get freaky deaky in the back of your car?
Yeah, one time. And it was like a 3-minute ride. And I picked him up at a restaurant, and it was probably 5 minutes, not 3. And you could tell they'd been drinking, right? And they just have that tone to them, and they start making out in the back, and I'm looking in the mirror, and you can see where like things are going, and the breathing starts changing. You know what I mean? It's not like you can imagine, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and make it. And then you can tell the breathing gets even deeper, and you can hear the breathing and the light not moaning, And the guy's got his hands down her pants. And I'm like, do I stop this or do I just let it go? Like, I could be totally awkward with this and just be like, hey. Or
So what did you do?
I let it go. I should have. Hindsight's 20/20, right? I could have said something and been like,
What a good Samaritan.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I've heard some of these stories. The one I think that cracks me up the most is the guy that was wearing the fishnets that got in your car.
Yeah.
Then got picked up at the hotel like he'd already been doing some business over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing but fishnet on the lower half.
Yikes.
And I remember seeing nothing but cheeks walk by me because he couldn't find my car that night. I can't believe these people walk around town like that, man.
So, like, does this kind of thing happen every night, or is this just like a rare, once in a while thing?
Yeah, it's a once in a while thing. Like that weekend I was just telling you about when you were like, well, freaky deaky, that was a one-time thing. And I think fishnets might have happened in that same week. Like there was some weird phenomenon happening that week that I don't know about. And it's like when the shit goes down, it's always in the same week. And you're like, man, I'm going to have to quit driving this week because something's in the air. The gravitational pull's different, whatever it might be. Like when the weird shit happens, they're days together.
Wow. So now back on the serious side of things, on another note, if you had any recommendations for somebody that was getting into this for the first time, what would it be?
The electric car. It's a game changer, honestly, for it. And people will disagree with me with that because of the electric world, but let me say this. I wouldn't take an electric car across the country, right? There's no way. The charging stations are there, but your time is not. But what I will say is there's no maintenance on them. You're not changing oil. You're not worrying about a transmission. You're not worrying about a coolant flush. You're not worrying about, your normal rotations other than tires.
Right. That's a huge plus.
Mm-hmm. And so I got a charger installed at the house. And so price per mile and what the battery holds. Dude, it turns out to be $7 a full charge from my house to go over 200 miles.
That's pretty good. That's
so
impressive.
You can put the high price on the electric vehicle, right? You can do that. But you're going to save a shit ton of money in the long run. More than a gas vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
Because of that. Because if you get the charger in the house, the price on the car doesn't matter. Because what's an oil change run nowadays?
Oh, yeah, anywhere from $50 to $100, depending on what kind of car you have.
Right. And you're going to put 5,000 miles on easily within 2 months.
Yeah.
So you're going to be changing the oil right there at probably $100, right? Rotating the tires at $100. Well, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Mine actually rotate for free, but that's what I make sure of, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't have maintenance on the car other than the tires. And then if I have to charge out on the town, that's the downer, right? It's like paying for gas. It's super expensive to go up to one of the fast chargers and charge in town.
Does it? And it seems to take longer too, probably.
In my car, in a fast charger, it takes longer. If you charge at home, it's super long, but my car will charge in like 4 to 6 hours from my house.
Okay, so you just kind of plug it in when you get home and sleep on it, and you're good to go.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, right? Like, my car is a 65 kilowatt battery, and this is the stuff you got to educate yourself about. And 65 kilowatts, and the power company charges me 10.5 cents, 0.105 per kilowatt. So you do the math, and I don't even think that's $7. I think I'm rounding up, right? So if the battery was dead, it cost me $6.82 to charge it.
Wow, that's pretty dang good. I mean, that's unheard of, really.
Mm-hmm.
To consider you get that many miles, to get over 200 miles on that.
Yep. So that would be my biggest recommendation.
So now, when you bought your electric vehicle, did you get any tax incentives on it, or was there any other kind of a tax write-off benefit that you could use?
Yeah, so I got the $7,500 from the federal government, but that one only works if you have been taxed at least that much throughout the year. So you're not going to be taxed just driving Uber like that, because it's all independent contract, right? So my other job picks up all the other taxes. So if I didn't pay the federal government $7,500 in taxes that year, they weren't going to give me. They wouldn't have gave me a $7,500 rebate. They would have gave me what I paid them.
I see. That makes sense.
So if I paid $5,000 in taxes, then they would have only gave me $5,000, not the $7,500.
And now, can you, like, let's say you have to have, some kind of work done to the car, or let's say you buy tires for it. Can you use that as a business expense and write it off?
Absolutely. And then
that's excellent.
You write off, I think it's 67 cents a mile.
Okay, great.
So, and that's all I use the car for. And so the car doesn't get touched unless I'm doing that.
That's awesome. Now, how often does Uber or Lyft, do they have standards on how clean the car has to be? Do you have to make sure it stays spotless and all that, or can you just drive it as is no matter what?
That would be like a rating issue, right? So if somebody gets in the car and goes, "This car's dirty," then it's going to be they're going to rate you not at your 5-star rating, and then it's going to ask you why. And so when your rating starts going down, well, I got a dirty car, right? And so they don't come and check your car. That's what the inspections are for, like I was saying with Jiffy Lube. I mean, that's up to you. And if you don't keep a certain star rating, I don't think they let you drive.
Okay, that makes sense.
And to go back on the rebate thing, since we're in Colorado too, Colorado also gives an extra $5,000 back on your taxes.
Wow.
And that does not go on how much money they tax you. That is an automatic incentive.
That's excellent. The tax ride benefits themselves are worth
Yeah.
it.
So you're getting $12,500 back alone, already off the high price tag.
That's fantastic. I mean, I wish they would have had, all this type of way to make money, back when I was starting out in life. It would have been a game changer for me.
Right?
So it's definitely a good thing to get into if you're looking for some extra cash or need to come up with some money to pay off a vacation or, got a new vehicle. Definitely. I appreciate your time on this. I know you've done it for a while, and I always enjoy talking to you to hear the latest stories of what you've ran into and seen out there on the road. So I really just wanted to kind of get it out there and see what it was all about, and for everyone else to hear.
Yeah, I'm trying to get you out on the road now since you're
I don't think
home.
a 3/4 ton, GMC truck would be that great out there. I'd have to do like 100 rides a night to make that pay off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The gas cars. Think about like the gas cars, dude. So even if you have a car and you can go 300-400 miles in a gas car, how much are you paying for gas, in a day?
Well, exactly. No, that's a fact.
Hell yeah, man.
So, well, that's excellent. I finally got my computer to work. We tried to do this podcast a couple days ago, and I let my computer get cold out here in my man cave garage that isn't heated unless I'm in it. So it was running really slow.
Yeah, and my man's not an Apple man. And so I got this 2016 Mac over here I'm running on. That, by the way, my man got over here for me.
2016.
It is.
Is that how old it is?
Mm-hmm. And it runs perfect. Just saying.
Yeah, sure it does.
Mm-hmm. I don't have this problem where I'm like stuttering Stanley over here.
Hey, I don't either now. The Dell, the old Black Beauty's come in strong this time. Just had to let the old girl warm up overnight. She doesn't like being out in the cold.
Yeah, you leave the computer out in the cold. Things get canceled out in the cold.
Cancel culture, that's where we're at.
That's right. So anyone looking to join the Uber Lyft platform, it's definitely worth it if you have the time. You're more than welcome to reach out if you got any questions. I'm glad to answer them. We can put you on too. Sounds like we got another Colorado pal that we're trying to get on from Archery in Motion that I think we were talking about.
Yeah, that'd be great. Is he still seeming pretty interested in it?
Absolutely. So we're going to have to
Awesome.
come up with the time and day, get him on here.
All right, well, hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I know I did. It was kind of low-key for me and the family, so I always enjoy it.
Yep, same. The old F-150, man, took a dive on me.
Oh, I know. You've been going, if you don't have one thing wrong, if you didn't have a problem, you wouldn't have nothing right now.
Yeah. If it's not one thing, it's another.
Did you get the furnace fixed?
Nope.
Still not in?
Still not in.
Okay, well, fingers crossed you'll get that motherboard soon. And
Going to work.
yeah.
Time is money, man, and my time is money. I'll tell you that.
I know what you mean. Do you have anything else to say about Uber or Lyft or anything, on that I didn't mention?
No, I don't. Reach out if you do, though.
Don't be afraid to hit our social media and reach out through Facebook, Instagram,
TikTok,
TikTok.
Blue Sky. You're looking at me like,
YouTube.
what the hell is Blue Sky? What is Blue Sky? Well, it's going to put your boy Elon out of business. Going to put him out. So out.
The X platform's way better than ever. Don't ever forget it. Don't ever forget it.
They won't ban me there, okay? They will not ban me.
I think it might be funny. Elon might try to buy Blue Sky and change it to Red Sky. And then fire everybody there.
Yeah, probably just like everyone else, and just make Twitter shit again. Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Oops. All right,
All
man.
right, man.
Till next time.
Until next time, we stand corrected. Don't forget to check out our social media pages.
Yeah, YouTube's a big one now. YouTube, you're right. YouTube.
YouTube. I mean, we're always looking. Even if you don't want to chat us up, we're just looking for somebody to interview. Or if you have any questions or want to know something about one of us, that would be an excellent way to find out.
If you want to
just
get
reach
more
out.
corrected on Uber and Lyft, hit us up too.
All right, sounds good. Well, here's another episode in the tubes. We'll see you next time, hopefully with an interview.
Yep. Till next time.